Kia ora, good evening. The condition of 4-week-old baby Nocklia Milton is listed as no longer critical. Nocklia was rushed to hospital by emergency services last week following an incident at her house early Monday morning. Police are still investigating the circumstances that left the then 3-week-old in the critical condition that required her to be transferred to Auckland's Starship Hospital. A Starship Hospital spokesperson says Nocklia is now listed as being in a stable condition. A special general meeting on Saturday called by the Southland Arts Society Council resulted in a new council being elected. Southland Arts Society members were informed just over a week ago its council were recommending the gallery cease operation and the coordinator be made redundant due to financial pressures. Around 30 people attended the meeting where the council proposed the gallery close, but that motion was defeated by members, resulting in several council members tendering their resignation. Gallery coordinator Catherine Blomfield says she's thrilled with the outcome from Saturday's meeting and to have a newly appointed council led by President Max Reid. The Labour Party leadership roadshow rolled into Dunedin yesterday and Invercargill Party faithful were on hand to hear each candidate put their case for the leadership. Grant Robertson, Shane Jones and David Cunliffe are all off after the top spot following the resignation of David Shearer last month. For the first time, the leadership will be decided by the caucus, party membership and affiliated union members. Former Labour List MP and current Invercargill Labour branch chair Leslie Soper believes the new selection process is robust and well tested internationally. Hunter Andrews asked the former MP whether she believed David Shearer was pushed or made up his own mind to go.
I think he made the decision himself. I think he had given it a good go. David is a great guy. I supported him totally. Great guy, but I think in his own mind he had decided that he hadn't made the cut through he had hoped to make, and therefore he did the right thing in standing down and letting a new leader be in place.
Leslie, can you explain to us the process behind selecting the new leader?
It's a total change. In the past, the caucus has elected its leader. And what's happened now, last year at our annual conference, we changed the Labour Party constitution so that the grassroots, every individual member, has a vote in the leadership selection. It's what we call a 40-40-20 college. So the individual members have 40% of the vote. The caucus has 40% of the vote, so they vote individually, and that makes up 40% of the final vote. And our affiliate unions collectively make up 20% of the vote. So it's absolutely exciting. It's energised people. The grassroots are thrilled about the fact that they have an individual say in the membership. It's really energised people.
So you're obviously in favour?
I certainly supported making that change to the constitution. It's something that the grassroots members had been discussing for quite some time, and the time had come for the party to, it's done in the British Labour Party, it's done in Canada, it's done with the Social Democratic Party in Germany. The time had come to be more democratic about the way we support and choose our leaders.
How did the three turn out in Dunedin? Was there an enthusiastic crowd, and how did all three go?
There was a huge crowd. It was a massive turnout. The Kings and Queens Centre was full with really energised, excited members. People listened very, very hard. The three candidates, I have to say, they're three brilliant guys. And they'll all play a big role in the future of the party.
As a former MP, of course, you're well placed. Can you tell me who you personally support?
I would say that David Cunliffe is the one who's ready to lead us, ready to win. He's got the social heart, the economic credentials. That's not to say anything about the other two. All three of them are great guys. I'd be happy with any three of them as the three as leader. And as far as I'm concerned, whoever turns out of the process, every Labour member gets behind them, and we go on to win in 2014. It's unity.
When will the Labour Party know who its new leader is?
The decision will be announced on the 15th of September, fairly late in the day.
And can we expect to see the new leader down here?
Oh, absolutely. The invitation has already been made, whichever of the three. In fact, the invitation's been made to all three in whatever senior roles each of them is in, to visit Invercargill. So yes, absolutely.
Those in the rural sector can now make savings with reduced compliance costs for agricultural vehicles. Vehicles that operate at less than 40 kilometres per hour are now exempt from warrant of fitnesses, but still need to be in roadworthy condition and can now be driven by holders of restricted car licences. Operators of these vehicles will also be exempt from work time requirements, enabling time-critical agricultural work to continue unhindered. The changes come following a review of New Zealand's 40,000 registered agricultural vehicles and the special needs of agricultural production. Stay with us. After the break, blokes in sheds and a weekend scooter ride raises over $60,000. Welcome back. Recruiting Invercargill people willing to travel for work is behind an employment initiative being run from the city. This is the second year Workbridge has worked with Silver Fern Farms to recruit staff, and for 40-odd people it's an opportunity for regular work that will bring hundreds of thousands of dollars into the local economy.
What we're looking at is basically, because unemployment in Invercargill, there is limited opportunities. We've got some really keen job seekers that are willing to go to Balclutha on a bus, which is a huge ask. It's 3 hours travelling, and that's how keen our job seekers are to get work. So we're probably looking at about 40 or 50 people, depending on what we can fit on the bus. Going up there, the bus driver obviously will drive up there, work at Finnegan for the day, and then come back down with the busload of people.
So what type of work is happening at Finnegan's?
Basically, they've got an ageing workforce, and so we're looking at some younger people, non-skilled, skilled, to basically look at a career within the freezing works industry. Obviously, there's trimmers, packers, shepherds, boners, trainee boners, all that kind of thing. And I've also got women that are interested in boning as well. Good, strong women that are really looking to get a career in that industry.
So Workbridge, in the traditional sense, puts people in employment that are disabled, is that right?
That's correct, Margot. However, basically it's for anybody that's been disabled, injured, or have had injury or sickness. That basically covers any people with learning difficulties, mental health issues, rugby players that have had sports injuries that need to change career, dyslexia, any sort of learning. I mean, you've got quite capable people out there that can't read and write, but basically they can do a lot of other things.
As far as a monetary value on this work that's happening in Balclutha, do you know what it might be worth for those people that are going to actually be employed?
Absolutely. The hourly rate's between $18 and $26 an hour. So it's, that's very attractive to, a lot of job seekers that can't get work, in Invercargill. And they know that there could be a career progression in there because of Finnegan's ageing workforce.
Stirling Point came alive to the sound of 90 50cc scooters for this year's fundraising run-through to Queenstown. The Scooter Challenge is all about having fun, but the underlying cause is deadly serious: prostate cancer. Every 2 years, scooter riders make the 220-kilometre trek through to Queenstown, raising money for the Prostate Cancer Foundation of New Zealand. If caught early enough, sufferers of prostate cancer have a high recovery rate, but many men fail to have themselves checked regularly, and as a result, 600 men die prematurely in New Zealand each year. The event raised just over $60,000.
Prizes for people that may not necessarily make it. As you can tell, they're very excited and they're really wanting to get going on the road. There's hard luck stories. We've got prizes. Some will make it, some won't, but hey, it's not supposed to be easy.
Around 45 James Hargest College junior students were donning costumes and makeup to hit the stage for a final dress rehearsal yesterday for the musical Dear Edwina. Choir members auditioned for parts in the musical, which is being performed in the South for the first time. In the stage musical, lead Edwina Spoonapple, her siblings and a group of friends set out to tackle the world's problems by offering advice, covering everything from birthday party etiquette to table setting. Students have been practising for around 6 weeks, and Miss Edwina takes to the stage this week on Wednesday and Thursday nights at James Hargest College Senior Campus. Over 100 blokes spent Sunday afternoon visiting Man Caves in the annual Blokes and Sheds Southland Boys fundraiser. 3 buses took the eager shed enthusiasts around the city, taking in 5 of the best the region has to offer. The event is Southland Boys High School PTA organised, with all proceeds going to help fund school activities. Organiser Ken Bowie says there's always great support for the annual tour, and he already has sheds in mind for next year. Mr Bowie says there were no blokettes on the tour this year, but they're most welcome. The event's expected to have raised around $2,000 toward the school's sporting facilities budget.
No, there's no best shed. They're all interesting, all different. Sometimes it could be the shed itself, the collection, what goes on inside the shed, and the bloke himself has always got an interesting story to tell. A lot of the sheds we visited over the years are to do with vehicles, machinery, bikes and things, but we've also seen other collections and gone to, some small industries, commercial activities as well, where there's been a huge shed or a small, as the case may be. But no best shed. It's just a sheer variety of what blokes do in their backyard or for a living, and they all show some form of ingenuity, patience, whatever, but certainly skill. A lot of blokes have got things that they do in their shed, potter around or whatever. Not that it's everybody's thing, but it does seem to be a bit like the number 8 wire ingenuity thing we talk about in New Zealand. There's a lot goes on in the back shed and the neighbour wouldn't know what was there.
And that's it from the news desk this Monday. Next in sport, the Stags pick up their first win of the ITM Cup. From the news crew, good night.